Guys, Kirk Time Machine Transport. So my Holiday Inn is over there. Trailer's done. So truck's been sitting on idling. So I'm going to show you guys what the trailer looks like. What these nice folks over here at Mint Machine, they see that fucking coolant leak, man. I got a small leak in my radiator somewhere. That's not good. This radiator's brand new. Well, not brand new, it's a few years old. So, see if truck starts first. They gave me permission. We're going to be here till Saturday. We're talking about how the interstate's not going to open up in North Dakota till Saturday. I'll tell you, that old Detroit. Ooh, look at all that smoke, man. I don't like that. Let's just say, I don't know what it is exactly, but those old Detroits, boy, they start in any weather. And it is cold here. Very cold. Truck started is great. Put you guys on pause. Channel for you guys, I'm plugging you. All right, guys, this is Wayne right here. He's the owner over here. Super great guy. And his partner in crime here. So I'm gonna show you guys. These guys were awesome. They got us in, and I'm just stoked right now. So right on. Look at that. There we go. That's what happens when you help somebody out and they just keep their foot on the pedal while you're trying to pull them out. So this was the reason why I was kind of glad, well, not glad, but I needed to get it in. So I'll tell you guys a story. After I paid the bill here, I had them fix that because I was getting a little crack on the side there. So, and I'll explain on my put you guys on pause. I'm going to explain the story while the truck warms up. But if you have toolboxes on your trailers, you guys need to check out your brackets or your beams or whatever you want to call them, your metal connections there or whatever, because this one is not happening, but there was a small hairline crack on this side and on that side. And I'll tell you the story about when the toolbox fell off. So I'm going to put you guys on pause and go pay the bill. And then we're going to go ahead and get this girl hooked up. So put you guys on pause. All right, guys, I'm back. Anyways, so let me tell you, Montana is full of extremely nice people, man. So I'm staying at the Holiday Inn. And they don't have parking. I mean, you got to park it for a bobtail over there, right over there. But they don't really have any parking for big trucks. So this hotel is abandoned. But these people over here, they own this building. And there's literally nobody staying here. The Green Tree in Glendive, Montana. Anyways, the lady across the street, I told her, I said, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble here when I pick up my trailer because I want to have anywhere to park. So she said, let me check the people at Green Tree. They got this vacant building over here. And so anyways, so when I picked up the trailer, I nosed in, and it was, I'm about 42,000, 43,000 on the deck. Anyways, you don't really want to be doing a sharp U-turn or you'll blow out your tires. But I went in there, and because Marissa at that hotel called this hotel, and they said, yeah, have them just park over here. So I didn't know which side they wanted me to park to. So anyways, very nice people. I'm not even staying at their hotel, and they're letting me stay here. I mean, not stay here, but park here. I mean, that's phenomenal, man. You don't see people like that everywhere. So anyways, let me tell you about what happened. I'll go back over. I'm going to check out that. Well, they did a great job. It wasn't as cheap as I thought. $713. $713 mistake. But they did a nice job. I mean, it was a clean break, so they just kind of cleaned it up and welded some plates on there, and they do a really nice bead. But that thing is beefed up now. I think I'm gonna go see if I can pull another tanker out of a ditch or something with this. Nope. Anyways, So this is the story I was telling you guys about. Like I said, so we got a couple other trailers like this. And these are old TMC trailers. TMC puts their boxes here, not between the two trailer axles, which I think is a lot smarter. I've blown out a tire before when I was with the Russian, and that tire literally like smashed the box, all the shit. Anyways, so I pre-trip my truck every day. I honestly do. I think there's maybe a small handful in the past that I didn't, but I'd say 99.9% of the time I thump my trailer or check my load, thump my tires. But who would think that you would have to check your mounting bracket or post or whatever you want to call it? So this is clean, but I've done this after. I'll tell you guys the story. So I had them clean this up and weld it because it started a hairline crack right here and on the other side, very fine. And now I can carry the weight I want. I have very few things in this box, and I'll tell you what happened. So let's go back in the warm truck, shall we? So I did the math. You know, like when they, like I could stay in this truck now. I could have stayed in it last night. Here's the deal, though. They say that I love this fucking snowmobile jacket. Anyways, they say that when you idle a truck, you go through about a gallon an hour. The Holiday Inn Express, if I would have known about this place, it looked like it was closed because there was no cars in the parking lot. But I like Holiday Inn. They have nice rooms. So fix my head. It's crooked. I'm like crooked. Although I used to be a crooked motherfucker back in the day. So, right, Pastor Rick. So, Jason Gilbert, Stevie K. Anyways, an unknown user. I'll call you back today, buddy. I'm sorry. I need to call you back. I called you back a few times. All you guys who support my channel, thank you so much. Had a lot of concern on the, man, dude, it's messed up on the trailer. Like I said, it's my own fault at the end of the day. So, anyways, the Best Western is $110 a night. Well, if you do the math, it's cold here, man. Cold. I wasn't surprised that we name all of our trucks. This one's Liza. I wasn't surprised that Liza started. These old Detroit 60 series, man, I've started them in some serious cold weather, man. Some serious cold weather. You got good batteries, you can get down into the negatives and she'll still start. Trust me, I've done it. So anyway, so that's $110 plus a $20 security deposit incidentals. When you check out, you get reimbursed. So it's basically $110 plus tax. So I don't know what there's taxes up here. So say $125, $130, right? Actually, I think it's probably 115, 120. Anyways, I'm not a mathematician, guys. I'm a fucking semi-driver. So if you do the math at, simple $5 a gallon at 24 hours. I idled. So I got to Glendive Tuesday afternoon. That's when I helped the guy and bumper got tore off. So I idled from that point all the way up until yesterday when I dropped the truck off. The guy Wayne over at, I think it's Wentz. I forgot the name of it. It's in my pocket. Anyways, you guys ever have a problem? He's not a mechanic shop. He's actually a machine shop. But the guy was nice enough to get me in. He knew I was in a bind. And he's like, man, and I already told you guys about Dave, the real winner. Hi, Dave. Hi, Kurt. Hi, Dave. I'm Kurt. Hi. Anyways, Wayne, it's from Mint. I'm sorry, MINDT, Mint Machine Company. Anyways, they are not mechanics. They are really good welders. And they're the only people around here that I know of that when I called, actually welded aluminum. A lot of people aren't set up. We've got a really nice welder at our shop. I don't know how to weld, but we can't weld aluminum. We got to buy a special head for it. So a lot of places aren't really set up for it. Anyways, when I called Wayne, He's like, man, I'd really love to help you. He said, but I probably wouldn't be able to get you in until Thursday night, early Friday morning, maybe. And he called me yesterday afternoon, and he's like, hey, man, can you bring the truck over? I'm like, hell yeah. So I was a little leery because I was like, damn, I'm going to have to jump on the interstate for like 1.5 miles because it was like three point some miles from the Flying J in Glendive. Anyways, and I was running both GPSs. One wanted me to go one way, the trucking one wanted me to go this way, so I always follow the trucking one. And it did me wrong. So I had to end up going through, it was, I thought I was going to get stuck. And I had my differential locked in, my power divide. I mean, I was going slow. Here's one thing, when you guys get stuck, man, don't high RPM the truck. That doesn't make any sense. If you're like, Wee! You're just going to get yourself into more trouble. The slower the move of the tire, the better it is. If you start heating up that tire, it's just going to melt down, plus the rotation of the tire is just going to dig down. Please don't do that, guys. You're wrecking yourself even worse. So, anyways, so I dropped it off yesterday, and he said, well, we'll have to leave it in the shop overnight. The trailer, and I wouldn't stay inside the shop anyways. He said, you can just pull your truck outside and sleep in it if you want. I'm like, hey, I was thinking about over by, and this is Glendive as well. I think that's West Glendive where I was. They had no hotels over there. This is where all the hotels are. And I'm like, damn, man, if I was nearby a hotel, I'd rather just leave the truck on idle and just get a room. Because when you figure $5 a gallon plus the wear and tear on your truck with the motor, running, and they say it's good for diesels to run, I guess, instead of not run. But I don't know. I mean, why put that tear on your motor? The wear and tear, idling for Tuesday through. Now they're saying that the interstate's going to be closed until Saturday. So I mean, that's a lot of days, man, of just straight idling. And I don't know, even if you bump up your idle. Anyways, I'm just not making sense now. So anyways, do the simple math. At $5 a gallon, at 20 hours is $20, plus another 4 hours is $20. So you're talking $120. So it's really pretty much, what do they say, a horse a piece or a half a dozen in one way or whatever. Anyways, so, and why wouldn't I want to be in a nice comfy room? I mean, it's a really nice room. Big thick pillows, refrigerator, it's got a wet bar and no booze in it. They don't have a liquor store around here. I don't think. It'd be nice if they did. I won't waste a wish on it. But anyway, so let's get to the story, Kurt. I know you guys just dying to hear about when a toolbox fell off my trailer. I won't say which state because I know there's haters on Kurt Sabella, and I'm okay with that. I don't like everybody. So quite a few years back, I had a different trailer, one that's at our yard, and I was picking up going to PA. And I was in a different state, and I had to go to another state to pick up the freight. And it's in the summertime, everything's cool, I'm empty, I'm rolling up the hills, passing trucks, and all of a sudden, I get up to this hill. Right when I get almost to the top of the hill, I get in the right lane because I'm passing trucks. And all of a sudden, the whole truck goes boom, and it just rocks like that. I'm like, what the? And I'm looking around, I'm like, what just happened? I literally thought I lost like a transmission. It was that loud. I'm looking behind me, and I see something, and it's like tumbling. And I'm like, what? On the interstate, but now I'm over the hill, and I can't see. And I'm like, what the hell did I hit? I was like, I didn't see anything there. I literally was shocked. So I get over to the E lane with my 4-ways on. Truck's still running. I look underneath. There's no oil. There's no nothing. And there's no trucks or cars passing me. They're all locked up back there. I'm like, oh my God. And I just gotten with a new insurance company. And if you don't know anything about trucking, if you have a claim within your first year of being with an insurance company, they're going to drop you. And the next company you go to, because you had a claim in that first year, your rates are going to be pretty freaking high. So I was being very selfish when I tell you the rest of the story, because I didn't want to get juice on my insurance premiums. So anyways, I walk around the truck and the trailer. It's during the day. I see nothing. No oil, no brake, no nothing. Everything is... I'm like, what the hell did I hit? So I jump up in the truck, and there's still no cars or trucks passing me. And I'm like, I got to get out again. And I didn't pop my hood. I should have popped my hood. But there was no oil or anything underneath the truck. So I'm like, so I walk around the truck and I'm literally checking every tire going around. But when I get, because on the other trailer, the box was in the same place that this one is. And I get to the rear trailer tire, or the trailer tires, and I see one of the mud flaps is missing. And the tire's gouged up. One of the tires is gouged really bad. And I'm like, what the hell? And I walk up and I'm going to check, and the toolbox is gone. Gone. I mean, you guys see the size of that toolbox, and I had a lot of stuff in there, man. I mean, not change room, but I had corner protectors, this, that, and this and the other. Probably did $500 of shit in that toolbox. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It just, you can see the two brackets that I showed you where the weld is, sheared right off. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So I jump up in the car, or in the truck, and I'm panic mode. And finally there's still not a lot of traffic, but a car comes by me and they're looking at me, and I'm like, just look straight. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a world of shit here, man. So anyways, I won't tell you who I called because I don't want to put them on the video. But when I realized how this person was, it even made me grow more close to the person, I guess, because I don't want to incriminate the person. So I call him, and I'm looking for a truck stop. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm hoping nobody got hurt, this and that. But I'm in panic mode. I mean, don't judge me. You weren't there. So anyways, I call the person. I'm like, holy shit, this is what happened. And they're like, dude, you got to get the fuck out of there. So I'm like, I gotta go, man. I'm literally, and I have this saying, right? Danger respects me. Death neglects me. My attitude protects me. I hope heaven accepts me. But I was afraid to go back there and take a look, because I was new in trucking. I was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm gonna lose everything. I was in panic mode, and I'm not proud of it. But I'm a very transparent person, man. But I know there's haters out there be like, oh wow. But that's why I'm not saying the state. I'm not saying the freight. I'm not saying nothing about that or the person that I told. And I was like, oh my God, man, I am fucking doomed, man. I was terrified. And it doesn't take I mean, I've been tased. I've been, hemmed up on 3 counts of attempted murder. I've never been to prison. I'm not a felon, but whatever the case is, probably good attorneys, whatever. But I'm not afraid of many things, right? So anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, this and that. I'm like I said, I'm literally terrified. Anyways, MCS patrol over there, probably just being nosy. Montana scale house or whatever they call them. They're like cops, but they're like commercial enforcers. So anyways, I'm like, I finally get out of there, and as I'm going to this truck stop, I see state troopers like piled up, like not piled up, but they're thick as thieves, and they got to be checking every flatbed, because we're really the only ones that carry toolboxes. I mean, I've seen some dry boxes and reefers or whatever with them, but flatbedders mainly carry a toolbox on their flatbed. Anyways, I'm just like, man, oh my God. So I get over to the place where I'm getting the repair. I'm not going to tell you that either. Not for the people that I love or that love me, but just for haters, right? So I check in, and I tell I will tell you the dude's name is Renee, and so they get me in right away, which I was surprised. So I tell Renee what I want. I'm like, I need 2 brand new mud flaps, and I need 2 brand new tires. So he's like, okay. And I give him a $20 bill, and I'm like, if you make it fast, I'll give you another 20. He's like, okay. And then I brought him over to the 2 bars or stock brackets or braces that were literally sheared off. I'm like, and I need you to cut these off with a Sawzall, because I had a Sawzall. I couldn't get the blade in there. I said, you got a cutting wheel or something? He goes, yeah. I said, I'll give you another 20
to take these off. He's like, all right. Got it done quick as shit. So I took fifth wheel grease off of my fifth wheel, and I went up underneath it because you can see the shiny part on the undercarriage from the trailer. So I start smearing grease on that. So in case I got stopped by DOT or a state trooper, they would just see grease. They wouldn't see like shiny. If you see old aluminum and then you see shiny aluminum and it looks like it's been rubbing or something was, okay, that's a little suspect, right? So anyways, so I got out of there, and then I checked that area for weeks. You know, accidents, this and that, you know, check DOT, nothing. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed. I mean, if somebody would have died, I definitely would have reported myself. I mean, that's wrong. But there was no accident. There was no, and they had everything on these DOT websites. But yeah, so my point of this story is, it's not, oh, Kurt, you know, I mean, I've been through a lot of shit, man. A lot of shit. But I'm not proud of it. I don't wear it like a badge of honor. But I've had my situations. So here's the thing. People don't realize, oh, yeah, you don't check your... I do. You can. My wife, I mean, I'll tell her all the time when I'm thumping my tires or whatever, and she knows I check. You can see my equipment's clean. I mean, it's not... I will not roll, right? And I had a plan. I was going to take a 2-inch strap and try to wrap it around the bumper and tighten it down with a rat. I was just like, man... If I wouldn't have found anybody here, that's what I would have had to have done. But a part of me was like, you know what, maybe, because I figured the optimistic person in me is like, oh, you know what, it'd probably be a couple $100, not going to be a gazillion dollars. And $713 is not a gazillion dollars. And I was going to stay in a hotel. Well, it's either you pay for fuel to idle or you stay in a hotel. So I'm not even mad about that. Why would I be? I'm a little upset because if they wouldn't have taken 5 hours to load me up in Whitewater, I would have beat all this. I'd be fucking in Birmingham by now. But it's part of trucking, and it is what it is. But my point of the story is, I mean, it's kind of, it's I wouldn't know if it's a funny story, but it's, I mean, my reaction, if you would have seen me on camera, you probably would have been pissing your pants. But the point of the story is, if you have boxes on your trailer, if you have a headache rack, whatever the case is, you know, there's bolts to hold down the headache rack. And there's nuts and washers that thread up on those, and it's like a U. It's like a big U. And it fucking busted my ass when I came out of the hotel too. Right on the ice, man. Fucking racked my damn hand. It hurts. Anyways, a lot of I mean, I could be way off, but I'm sure a lot of guys don't check that U bracket. There's 4 of them that hold down your headache rack to the frame of your truck. Well, over the course of years, I mean, if they're metal, they could rust through, they could break. If you don't, you know, I always, my brother Jason Gilbert always says, don't say always and don't say never. For the most part, I put silicone on the threads when I'm bolting something up, so that and this is probably good, like silicone's my go-to, I keep telling you guys, right? So if you thread a nut on, if you take silicone after you tighten it down, if you take silicone and you go over those threads in a thick glob on every thread you put, you'll never have to, well, there you go, Kurt. Never, Jason Gilbert, what did you just tell me? Never, don't say never and don't say always, right? But the nut typically will not unscrew itself if it's got a silicone, you know, prevent, or like, you know, glob of silicone. Because if you ever try to tear off silicone, it's very hard and difficult. So that essentially is what's going to prevent that nut from unscrewing itself. So that's why I use silicone whenever I put, you know, tighten something down. But like I said, the point of the story is, check your toolboxes, because I don't ever want you guys to have that happen, and I'm sure it's happened to many people. And I've seen that crack now for and shame on me. Shame on me, because I do a good talk, but I failed myself. couldn't find somebody to do aluminum. So I rolled with it. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll have Jose and his guys take a metal bracket and drill through it and hold the two pieces where the crack is, where you got the upper and the lower piece, take a bracket. But they did essentially what I was going to have Jose do, but they didn't have any metal and they didn't have any bolts every time I'd go there. And so I've been looking for an aluminum welder, and I also had a couple rip pockets on my trailer. I can tell you another story about that one time when a guy literally ripped my whole side rail off with a big ass front end loader. Anyways, so yeah, so if you have a box, actually I'll tell you the story real quick. Why not? It's story time, right? So I'm in Michigan. I'm delivering a load of pipe up from Texas up to Michigan, up to a big piping company. And I pull into the yard. Guy greets me, this operations manager, big company. And he's like going to back, blah, blah. There's a guy with a big front end loader with forklifts, right? And the pipe's in a pyramid. Well, when I got to the shipper in Texas, they wouldn't let me, because you have a thing called pipe stakes, which are these big bars, 4 of them. So there's 2 on one side of the trailer, 2 on the other, and they go down in these pockets, and they're big stakes, they're bars. So when you haul pipe, if the pipe rolls, it's not going to prevent it, but it will like kind of absorb it if the pipe does roll off, and that way off your trailer. So that's what the pipe stakes are used for. So anyways, I turned on this heat. So I run a chain from one pipe stick to the other, and then I snap bind it, and then I do the same for the rear. But the guy's like, we don't have time for that, man, blah, blah, we got to run. And I said, okay. So they put the pipe on, they pyramid stacked it. Many on the bottom, and then less, and then one up on the top. Hence the pyramid stack. Right. So, strap everything down, blah, 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 get over to Michigan. And when I get to unload, this dude's got a real attitude, real big asshole, big dude. And I told him, I said, well, I'll go ahead, and because whenever you haul pipe, you do like belly straps. So you run one roll of pipe, strap it, another roll of pipe, strap it, so on and so on. So, and then when you unload it, I said, I'll just go ahead and take off the top straps. You can get underneath the first pipe. And now I had no wood underneath it. It's called dunnage, so you can get the forks underneath the pipe. That's just how they loaded it. So anyways, I told him, I said, well, I'll just go ahead and I'll unstrap the top roll, and then you come in with your forks and you peel it off. He's like, okay. He's like, no, you know what? Just go ahead and undo the whole thing. I'm like, so you want me to loosen up all the straps? I can't pull them because the pipe's sitting on top of the other ones. But he said, yeah, just undo them all. I'm like, all right, I secure and haul it. I don't load it. So you obviously have a plan. So I got my pipe stakes in. I undo all the straps, loosen them all up. Standing on the passenger side, not standing by the trailer. It's very dangerous. All of a sudden I hear this dude run. He's revving up all right, so I'm listening. Dude I swear, he just comes right in full bore. Boom! And he hits. He's trying to get, because the pipe's close together, he's trying to get that fork underneath the pipe to start bringing it up. And literally pushes the pipe over the side, and it hits my 2 pipe sticks, because they're distance apart. Here, I'll show you when I get outside. I won't pull out my pipe sticks because they're kind of buried. So anyways, I got a pipe stick, we'll just call it. So on this one here, I could use pipe stakes. But with this massive amount of pipe, those pipe stakes are going to do nothing. They're going to be like toothpicks. So I got one, say, here in this pocket, right? So it slides down in this pocket. And then I got one further down there where the first set of tires will be. And I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden, the pipe literally, and it's small diameter pipe. It's not this big. It's probably like maybe, I don't know, 3 inches or 4 inches, something like that. And all of a sudden, the pipe just goes boom, boom, and it hits the 2 the 2 pipe sticks, literally bends them so they're facing up. It hits them, and it folds both pipe stakes over. So now they're pointing straight to the ground. So my whole side rail, where that is, literally is ripped off. I'm like, oh my God. So I run over to the other side. I'm like, dude, calm down. And he's like, what? I'm like, did you plan on doing that? He's like, what? I said, was I supposed to take my pipe stakes off or something? He's like, no. He said, you can leave them in there. I'm like, well, dude, just cleaning off my deck. I said, dude, you literally bent all my shit on the other side. He said, what? I said, yeah. Just cleaning up my trailer while I'm talking to you, sorry. So anyways, jump back up in the truck. So anyways, so now I got the whole rub rail, I think it was on the other side though, is ripped. Like, all this shit is just off. I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, get out of this wind. So anyways, now I'm like, holy shit. So we get the load off, put away my pipe sticks. I call the broker. I'm telling them what happened. They're like, oh my God. So they're like, you're going to have to file an insurance claim. So I go to pull out, and the operations manager is sitting there to make copy of my BOL, my signed BOL. And he's like, he's looking at my trailer. He goes, you didn't come in like that. I'm like, no. So I explained the situation. He said, that guy's like, he's going to get fired now. He said he's been on the edge of getting fired anyways. He's got a real attitude. His wife owns a restaurant in town. He's just here for the insurance. He said, I'm sick of this guy. I said, he could have killed me. I said, he literally could have killed me. He's like, yeah, he could have. And so I said, I'm going to have to file a claim. He's like, well, can you do me a favor? He said, I have a really good aluminum welder here. He says, would you mind backing your trailer in to this other end of the shop, and you can go ahead and they'll fix it for you. And he said, will you at least give us the opportunity to do that? I said, absolutely. So I back it in, and they start going to work at it, him and a couple other guys. And the big guy comes in. He doesn't know I'm up in the cab. I'm just kind of doing some paperwork or whatever. He's like, yeah, that fucking guy. He said, the pipe fell with them little baby ass stakes, and I jumped out of the truck. Man, me and dude, I swear by my right hand to God, me and that dude almost got into it. And they had to separate us in the shop, and man, big dude, they probably would have got my ass whipped, but I'm okay with that. So anyways, they ended up firing a dude, and because of that, it was a TQL load, and because of that, of me handling everything inside in-house basically, and not filing a claim, and I sent them all the pictures. We became a premier carrier for TQL because of that situation, and now we pretty much name our price for TQL loads, which is pretty nice. But anyway, so I mean, this shit happens to me all the time, man, all the time. So I apologize to my wife. Hi, baby girl, I love you. I thought it'd be a couple $100 for this, but they did do the box the way I wanted it. They did do the back bumper, and they repaired a couple of my pipe stakes. So, it wasn't just the bumper. The bumper probably would have been $300, I'm sure. So, but again, if you can't find a positive out of a negative, you're not looking hard enough. So, had this not happened, I wouldn't have gotten that box repaired. It would have taken me forever. I eventually would have just end up doing it at the shop with some kind of metal, because finding an aluminum welder is not easy. So anyway, so there's the positive from the negative. Yeah, the bumper got ripped off, but I got my pipe stake, my pockets fixed, and I got the toolbox where I wanted it. So now I don't have to worry about that toolbox ever falling off. And like I said, and I mean, I if you have a box, if you have a headache rack, check the bolts, check your bracket, check the the side mounting stock, or whatever you want to call it, brackets, braces, whatever you want to, check that stuff. Because man, I'm sure it's happened to people in the past, because these trailers, they vibrate so much on a lot of these roads because they're tore up, and it was just. And this is exactly, I'm sure, and I don't know, because like I said, the box fell off, and I'm like, oh, that's the reason why. But I assume, and you know what they say about assume, right? But I assume that's the only way, because I didn't hit anything with it. The only thing it could have been is exactly what happened why I had these guys repair it, was because of a stress fracture in there, or a stress crack, or whatever you want to call it. And like I said, I swear to God, I did not see that a stress crack before the toolbox fell off. But by that happening, I check my shit religiously on a box or a headache wreck, all my tires, my brakes, anything, load, so on and so on. So anyways, like I said, just take a page out of my book, man, and don't just assume that, you know, your stuff on your trailer or your load or your truck or whatever the case is going to be 100% because somebody mounted it at some shop, and you're like, oh man, they just put that on. Well, you could have what happened to Cabreras. You could have a bunch of knuckleheads, some monkeys putting on, and they're trying to, you know, finagle some kind of mounting system for your box, and you pull off and it's got some fucking, you know, some super glue on it or something, or silicone. So anyways, like I said, I just wanted to share that with you guys because it is a very, very, very serious matter. And like I said, shame on me for doing what I, you know, for just, you know, splitting. I was terrified, man. And no excuse. But I literally was afraid that I was going to lose everything, my authority, anything, and then not being insured by another company. So shame on me for doing that. I'm not proud of that. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess, or desperate times call for desperate measures, right? And it was a desperate situation, and again, I'm not proud of it. But anyways, now I'm just gabbing. I got to pull my laundry out of here. There's a positive to this negative. I get to do my laundry, and it's cheap. It's $1 for a washer, $1 for a dryer. It trucks up. It's like $3, $4, $5 for a washer, and then $3, $4, $5 for a dryer. It's crazy. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm here until Saturday now. Just increase my stay. So today's Thursday. So anyways, I hope you got something from this video. Maybe a giggle. Maybe you'll check your stuff on your truck if that's what it calls, you know, for. So anyways, please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.